rarely can you get this kind of a consensus around something as substantial as this initiative is to begin to rebuild the country.
So what's your confidence level then right now?
Oh, my confidence level is very high. This process is really 3 steps. It's this bipartisan physical infrastructure bill, then you have a budget resolution, and then the third part really is the reconciliation bill, which is just ahead of us.
A portion of my discussion earlier today with Pennsylvania Senator Bob Casey, and in a few hours, the infrastructure plan is up for another procedural vote, one that is expected to pass. Backers have yet to produce an actual text of an infrastructure bill, but as the senator points out, the proposal did clear the first of many hurdles in that rare show of bipartisanship. Meantime, Senate Democrats are expected to release a revised voting rights bill within days after Republicans blocked a more sweeping proposal. Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock says voting protections remain a Democratic priority.
I think we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We have to work on the physical infrastructure of our country, and we have to work on the infrastructure of our democracy. It is the responsibility of Congress to provide baseline federal standards for voting.
We welcome back Juanita Tolliver, a veteran political strategist to progressive candidates and causes, and Michael Steele, former chairman of the Republican National Committee, former lieutenant governor of Maryland, and host of the Michael Steele podcast. Good to see you both. So, Juanita, NBC News has confirmed that Speaker Pelosi and Leader Schumer are headed to the White House tomorrow to talk to Joe Biden about voting rights. Can we expect a more aggressive push from the White House on this issue and see that it and Congress can indeed walk and chew gum at the same time?
Well, the fact that the Senate is already taking up revised voting rights legislation is a sign that those conversations have been happening behind closed doors, Chris. And so I do expect a full-throated effort from the White House to support this new revised legislation, because what every Democrat needs to do right now is demonstrate to every voter who supported them in 2020 that they are fighting for their rights. And let's be real, fighting for the democracy of this country writ large. And so I completely agree with Senator Reverend Warnock that it is Congress's responsibility to act on this. And I do hope the White House steps up to the plate and backs it all the way, because as they're talking about this revised language, the number one thing in my mind, Chris, is there all of a sudden support for a carve-out in the filibuster? What is the pathway to get this legislation through Congress and actually to Biden's desk? And I'm not looking too far ahead here. I just want to know and make sure, because advocates are going to be asking this. They're going to be asking it of the White House. They're going to be asking it of their senators and members of Congress. And so they better have an answer to that whenever they roll out this revised language.
Well, to exactly that point, let me read to you from Eugene Robinson's latest column in the Washington Post. He writes, "Hooray that we have a bipartisan compromise on infrastructure, but to make Biden's pronouncement that democracy can function true, the right to vote has to be protected. And I don't see how that happens as long as the filibuster survives. A Congress that can barely touch its meat isn't likely to eat its vegetables." What do you think about that, Michael Steele?
Oh, my man, Gene Robinson. I love that turn of phrase. Oh, my gosh, that's so sweet. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, he's right. Where do we go with this? Tell me where the lines and the points connect, because having the idea that you've got something, that you're crafting is one thing. Getting it out in front of the public and then selling it and getting people behind it on infrastructure is something very different. And on voting rights, it is absolutely critical that this meets the baseline fundamental tests, not just for advocates and activists out there who've been pushing the administration and states around the country to get this right, but the American people have got to trust it. They've got to buy into it, and it's got to affirm that this most precious right in our Constitution is safeguarded. And I don't know how you get there in this environment. Republicans are hell-bent, as you know, in keeping their hands off of this. They don't want to touch this issue. And the way they avoid touching it is holding close to them the filibuster. That threat and Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema are on their side on this. So you have to show me something. I just don't know what that is yet.
Well, one of the things that is showing bipartisanship, and we saw it with the vote, Juanita, is the infrastructure bill, but we still don't have any specifics. We still don't have the language. The progressive wing in the House is pushing back, though. They argue the proposal needs to be much broader. Let me play a little bit.
We are willing to negotiate the amount of investment that goes into these priorities, but we're not willing to negotiate having these priorities not be included in the legislation that passes.
How much do you think, Juanita, that progressives can and will push on this? How secure or tenuous is this bill?
Look, I think the fate of the bipartisan bill rests alongside the reconciliation package, that budget resolution, because Speaker Pelosi has made it clear she's not going to have a vote on the bipartisan bill without that budget resolution. And this is explicitly why, because she recognizes the power of the Progressive Caucus and the Democrats in the House are going to fight for this every step of the way. And they could potentially sink a bipartisan bill on that. And that's something that I don't think anybody wants to see. So I would not ignore these statements from the Progressive Caucus. If anything, this should be motivation to get that budget resolution through the Senate alongside this bipartisan package so that it is successful in the House and that there aren't any traps that they're going to have to deal with in terms of the reconciliation process between the two bills.
So we've got a lot more to talk about. So Juanita and Michael have agreed to stay a bit longer. Coming up, as rare bipartisanship does break out in the Senate over infrastructure, there's growing division among the GOP on Capitol Hill. We've got more on that when the 11th hour continues.